Right, we've got an unboxing today. So this is the 1Zpresso Q2 Heptagonal Burr. I've just received this. It's apparently the best budget grinder under $100. This one actually costs $72 on Lazada, or 110 plus tax in USA on Amazon. So Lazada's better value for this kind of stuff. Q2 comes in a nice box. They gave me a free blower to help clean it out. Under the plastic protection is the carry bag. So it comes with a nice little kind of a cloth burlap feel to it, synthetic though. Carry bag. Here's the QR code, I guess, to the online manuals. And here's a little cleaning brush, very nice compact little cleaning brush. And here's the grinder itself. As usual from 1Zpresso, it's really good quality. It's like a mini version of the K Plus that I have, except it doesn't have as versatile a grind range and it costs a lot less. But feeling this bearing, there's two bearings inside here, feeling how smooth they spin and the construction with this nice solid aluminum feel. Here's the bottom adjustments. Not as convenient as the top adjustment, but there you go. This is under $100. There's some desiccant in here, but I've already cleaned this out and used it. I've tested it already. But this is a very nice grinder for the money. Now we're going to do some, and the reason I bought this, if I've got a K Plus, why did I need this? Well, it's for traveling with this, and this is so compact. Now the maximum capacity in the upper chamber is 20 grams roughly, but that's perfect for doing things like AeroPress and pour over using a Hario V60. So you're not really going to travel with a V60 necessarily unless you've got the plastic dripper at the top. This one's a glass switch, which is really useful. But if you're traveling with the AeroPress, guess what? This fits nicely inside. So you've got a very compact travel unit for your coffee needs there using the AeroPress. So fits in there. AeroPress is very good for traveling with, of course, because it's light, but it produces a very good coffee. This has come a long way. I mean, if you remember 10-12 years ago, there was things like the Porlex Mini from Japan with ceramic burrs. I mean, and they probably still cost about the same as this does now or more because it's made in Japan. But this is actually way better quality, and you've got the advantage of heptagonal burrs, metal conical burrs, and a proper adjustment down here at the bottom. Now the manual is online, and if you go online it says that the number of clicks is about two rotations plus 4 at the end, because you want to go to the end of their suggested range normally. It works for everything from espresso to French press, but I found that 2 full rotations plus 12 clicks, because between each number is 3 clicks. Now the way to adjust this is you put the grind handle on and you turn this all the way clockwise until it can't go any further and the burrs lock. The burrs lock means you can't move the handle anymore, and then you back off, but you notice where make a note of where the 0 is. Now here right now it's showing on number 9. The little dot is on 9. So if I turned it, and yours might be different, yours will be randomly different because they're not zeroed out on 0. So when I turn mine all the way clockwise and the burrs lock, it's actually on number 3. So to go to 2 full rotations, I go counterclockwise to the number 3 again, and then again counterclockwise to number 3. That's 2 full rotations, and then I count 12 little clicks, and that is 2.4, or 2 rotations and 4 numbers. But each number has 3 clicks, so you actually count 12 clicks after the full 2 rotations. It sounds really complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's not. So let's grind up some coffee and see how long it takes to grind 20 grams of my beautiful medium roast coffee that I did the other day. Roasted this up. It's about 4 days old now. And here's my Wakeiko scale. If I can get it to start. There we go. It's a little press to start it. So I want to put in about 18 grams, 20 grams, 17, so there's 20.3 grams. .3 may not fit completely into the top of the chamber. Let's see how much we can get in the top. And you see, it's a bit too much. So we're going to have to leave enough to be able to get the top handle on. So I'll put these down for a second. We'll add these later. So this is 20 grams, and a little bit of it doesn't fit in the top. But that's no problem, we can always add it. And now we'll start grinding. Because I'm grinding actually for the V60 at the pour over grind, it's quite easy to grind. There's no hard work involved in grinding this amount of coffee. It's not a pain in the neck, it's not hard work. And now I can add some more of the beans that I've taken out. We'll do this on the fly. We're not editing anything out. This is what real life is like. So if you were traveling and you didn't have a place to put the extra beans, you're going to have to put them back in like this. And I've got the Bluetti EB70 solar generator out to show you what it's like to say you were van life camping with a solar generator. This little Bluetti EB70 over here. This is to boil my water. So I'll keep the water hot, turn the kettle on. And keep grinding, and it takes about a minute. And then we're done. So handles, well, almost done. One bean left, or two beans left there. Okay. So the Q2 has got heptagonal burrs now. I don't think you can find the pentagonal burrs anywhere. And the heptagonal is much more precise. And there we are. We've done 20 grams. And did it fill up the hopper at the bottom completely? Let's see. Yeah, almost to the top. So 20 grams. If you split it, sometimes you have to split it. Unless you've got, this is medium roast, so it's denser coffee. Just about fills up the bottom chamber. So we're going to do a pour over. Now I'm going to use the Hario switch. And the recipe I use is 20 grams of ground coffee. Ground at the pour over range, of course. To 320 grams of water. So I'm going to take my filter and put it in the V60. Well, I say V60, but it's actually a switch, Hario switch, which is a great way of doing it because you can do an immersion and a percolation at the same time by stopping the flow using this little, they call it the switch. It stops the flow and it starts the flow. So I'm just going to clean out the filter a bit with some hot water. I'm going to pour the rest of the water into my kettle, or my Hario gooseneck kettle, for some precise pouring. Now I've cleaned this out, I'm going to take this water away. Tear out the scale. Double check that I've ground 20 grams. Yeah, 20.6 actually, according to the scale now. I must have had a little bit left in there from the last time I tested this. And this is so solid, this 1Zpresso Q2. It's got a real solid feel on it, especially compared to things like the Porlex, where the handle basically gets detached very quickly, and it's hard work grinding, and it's got cheap ceramic burrs. Anyway, we'll zero it out. We've got our 20 grams in there. And now I'm going to start pouring. Now, first I'm going to bloom with about 45 grams. And as you can see, the switch is open, so it's flowing straight down. I've actually gone a bit over while I was talking, 61 grams. But I'm going to split this into 2 pours of 160. So once the bloom is finished, the bloom is the grounds fluff up at the top and gas comes off and bubbles. Once this is finished, I'm going to go all the way to 160 grams. Whoop, gone over a little bit again. No problem. Just make sure you don't go over 320 at the end. So once this is drained through, I'm going to close the switch and then do the last 160 grams of water as an immersion by holding it in there for about 30 seconds. So the percolation through the grounds bed is finished. I'm going to close the switch by lifting up. That stops the flow, there's no more drips. Now I can go all the way to my full 320. So I'm pouring all the way to 320. There's 309, 317, a little bit more. 320. Now I'm just going to start the timer and hold that for 30 seconds. And at the end of 30 seconds, then I'm going to open the valve again and let it all drain through. And that gives you a really good cup of filter coffee, using a ratio of 20 grams of ground coffee to 320 grams of water, split up into 2 pours. I include the first 160 with the bloom, so you pour about 45 grams. There's the 30 seconds. Just going to draw everything down now. So at the end of the bloom, then I pour the rest of the water up to 160 grams, close the switch, pour another 160, making a total of 320 grams. And it should all brew within about 3 minutes. And on this range server, as they call it, from Hario, the #1 size, you can see it comes up, the coffee comes up to just below 300 milliliters on the range server. Just as a guide, you end up with about 300 milliliters because some of the water is held, of course, in the bed. So if you look at the bed, it's not muddy. It's nice grind on the 1Zpresso Q2. And this is how I make a beautiful pot of pour over coffee. Very clear, very high clarity, and this is going to taste really, really nice with my medium roast coffee that I roasted about 4 days ago. So how much do you end up with? Well, about 300 milliliters from the switch if you use the 320 milliliter or gram recipe. Basically you'll end up with 2 cups of coffee to enjoy. and how's it going to taste. Always let your coffee cool down. I've let this cool for about 3 minutes already, because the longer you let it cool, the better it's going to taste. So you don't want to drink your coffee necessarily right away. Now this is very, very clear. The filters work great to produce a clean cup of coffee, and we'll see how it tastes. Wow, that medium roast came out really, really well. There's no bitterness and there's no harshness. I always recommend you get a medium roast coffee to really get the taste of your beans. If you go dark roast, then you're going to end up with a lot of smoky or harsh bitter flavors, possibly, depending on how it's roasted. But to really enjoy a bean and know the origin characteristics, this one is very mellow. It's full-bodied, but I'd say the flavors are more acidic. There's kind of a chocolatey, milk chocolatey flavor. There's a sweetness to it, but there's no traditional coffee taste, as we call it. There's no burnt flavors. So this is more of a caramel, milk chocolate, and a hint of fruit, but a very good coffee to enjoy using the Hario switch and my 1Zpresso Q2 grinder, which just arrived, and it's going to be used for traveling. So for traveling setup though, I would probably do a AeroPress and take a scale with you. Little Wakeiko scale is very nice. It's very compact, this little one. It fits under a Gaggia Classic Pro for espresso timing, and it's a good one for traveling with. And the 1Zpresso, of course, as I've already shown, fits inside the AeroPress. So with that, you've got provided you've got a way to boil water, you've got a perfect travel setup for making coffee. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.